Hello students, in this question a rod of length root 3 meter, this is the rod here, that moves between these two planes. One plane is horizontal and another one is making 60° with the horizontal. This rod moves such that it does not lose contact with any of these two planes, right? So that means one end of this rod is always in the contact with this inclined plane and the other end is always on the horizontal surface, right? So you have to prove that the instantaneous center of rotation of this rod, moves on a circular path. And you also have to determine the radius of that circular path, right? So let me begin with the solution part. And I want all of you to be extra vigilant with this solution, right? Actually, you should be vigilant for any kind of solution, but I'm telling you to extra vigilant because there is a reason for that, right? And you'll get to know about that in a very short time, right? So let us first trace the instantaneous center of rotation. What do we mean by instantaneous center of rotation, right? So instantaneous center of rotation is a point about which this body or this rod can be said to be in a pure rotational motion at that particular instant, right? So since these two ends can only slide on these planes, the velocity of this point must be either to the right or left along the horizontal. Let's take the rightward direction here. So of course this point here will be moving along this direction, right? And since this rod can be said to be in a pure rotational motion at that particular instant, the ICR will be lying perpendicular to the velocity vector, right? So if I make a perpendicular from this point velocity vector, the ICR must lie on this vertical line here. Similarly, if I make a perpendicular at this point here, perpendicular to the velocity vector, the ICR will lie on this line. Of course, the ICR will lie on the perpendicular where these lines actually meet, right? So this is the position of ICR, and as I'm rotating this rod, this ICR point will also move, and we have to show that this will move on a circular path, right? So this is the diagram here that I've made, right? So making perpendicular at these two positions, and this point P here is my ICR point, right? So I've made a quadrilateral here. So the sides of the quadrilateral are this, not this, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And if you just see clearly, this angle and this angle, these two are 90. Of course, if this is 60, this is going to be 120. And you can just see from here that this is a cyclic quadrilateral, right? So I can just fit in a circle here so that it touches all four vertex, right? So of course, this point P here lies on the circle, and that proves our point that the path of this point P, that is the ICR point, is the circular path. And determining the radius, what will be the radius, that will not be very difficult, because you can see from here this line. If I make a line connecting these 2 points, this point let me call that as point O, and this point P, this line is subtending angle 90° here. So of course this line will be diameter line. So the radius will be constant. Of course, this length will be equal to diameter, that is 2 times radius, and that is very easy to do. Just assume one particular point which is very easy to solve, that is just take the angle bisector and you can determine the value of radius. But the real thing is that all of this is completely wrong. You will get the wrong answer of radius of curvature. Also, the proof of this ICR to lie on the circular path is also wrong. So you should probably pause this video right now and think about that why is this solution completely wrong and what is wrong about it, right? So I hope you have found out yourself what was wrong about that, and if you did not, let us see what was wrong, right? The part where you have taken the point P to be at this circle. All of this is correct, that this quadrilateral is a cyclic quadrilateral. So of course there will be a circle going around it. But what we have missed out here, that P is the ICR point, and for the given value of this length L, which is of course fixed, the length of this rod is fixed, right? What we can change is the inclination of rod with any of the given planes. So this angle, let me call this angle as theta. I can change this value of theta, and for a fixed value of theta, I'm not going to say that this point can lie anywhere between these lines. This point here is fixed point. If this theta is fixed, that means the perpendicular line, this line and this line are also fixed. That means the P can have only one particular position about that. What if I rotated this rod, right? So this rod will become, and let me erase all of that. Let's say this rod has been rotated by some angle. Now it is something like that. So this line is the final position of the rod. At this particular instant, if we drop perpendicular one in the vertical direction, right? So ICR will lie on this line. Also, if I drop a perpendicular from this point here, from this particular position, right? So the ICR at this particular point will be here at point P. Now, with the same logic, if I draw a quadrilateral, this quadrilateral I'm talking about, this is again a cyclic quadrilateral because this angle is 90 and this angle is also 90. But the circle here will be changed, right? And the diameter of the second circle will be this, not this one. So you can see here, the center of the previous circle was at the midpoint or somewhere here. But the center of the other circle or the final circle will be somewhere here. So you can see here that point P is not moving on this circular path. The center should be fixed. If I'm saying that a particle or a point is moving on a circular path, that means the center has to be fixed, right? We are talking about the locus point, right? And in this case, the kind of circles we are taking, the center of these circles are not static. That means these centers are also moving. So we haven't yet even proved that these points, P points or the ICR point, will be lying on the circle. So we will use some other method to prove that this point P will be on a circular path, and we will use another method to determine the radius of the curvature, right? So now let's come to the actual or the correct method, and there can be many methods. This is the one I've used, right? So let's take any particular or general position of this rod. So this is any particular general position of the rod here, and again we are making this construction here. So this point here is the ICR point. This point P here is the ICR point, and let's say at this particular point, right? So the distance between this point, let me call this point O, and P is equal to R. This length is A, this length is B, perpendicular length is A and B, and the angle here, this particular angle is alpha, this angle is beta. Of course, alpha plus beta is going to be 60 degree, right? So this is all we have taken. Again, in this right angle triangle, the base will become A cot alpha. In this right angle triangle, the base will become B cot beta. And if we just see here that in both these right angle triangles, this R is the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse equal to height by sine of whatever the angle here. Here it is alpha, here it is beta. So A by sine alpha will be equal to B by sine beta. That will be equal to this length, hypotenuse R. So this is my first equation. Again, what I will use, I have to somehow use the given parameters. That was the length of this rod. So I have to use this part here, this length here. So I can make again two triangles, right? So this is my first triangle in which the length of this rod is coming. and I'm also making the another triangle, this triangle here, right? So this is the another triangle. We'll use both these triangles, and in both these triangles this length L or root 3 length is given. Also we know this angle is equal to 60 degrees, so of course this total angle is going to be equal to 120 degree. So for the first this triangle, we'll write cos 60 will be equal to, again, this square plus this square minus of this square, that is minus root 3 square by 2ab, this much, right? And if we just substitute the value of a and b from the equation number 1 in this equation, we'll get equation number 2, right? And similarly with the cosine rule, we will use this triangle and write cos 120 will be equal to a square plus b square minus of root 3 square, right? So this is again using the cosine rule, and from this equation and the equation number 1 will get this equation 3, right? And if we just add this equation 2 and 3, what we will get here, r square sine square plus cos square alpha sine square beta plus cos square beta, these will become 2 minus of cos alpha cos beta plus sine alpha sine beta, that will become minus of cos alpha plus beta, and we already know the value of alpha plus beta to be 60 degree. So we'll just solve it here and we'll get the value of r as 2 meter. So what does that mean? We haven't proved anything, we just arbitrarily chosen a particular distance. That means a distance from this fixed point O to the ICR point, and if I am able to prove that for any particular position of this rod, whatever is the position of this rod, the ICR is at a fixed distance from this point O, that means that itself tells us that point P is moving on a circular path, because that is what is the definition of the circle, that its distance is fixed from a fixed particular point, and that fixed point is called the center of the position, right? So for this circular motion, the center is not at the midpoint of this line but at this particular intersection of planes, right? So this is the center position and this is equal to radius, that is equal to 2 meters. So of course we have also determined the radius part also. And I would like to tell you the inspiration of this question. This is basically a question of mathematics, a pair of straight lines. So this is the question, original question, and I did modify this question to look like it's a question of physics. I hope you liked it. If you did, please share it with your friends and all. Thank you.